These rock legends are falling apart on stage, and the truth behind their final days will shock you. Aerosmith used to walk onto the stage like they own the whole planet. Steven Tyler didn't even have to sing the first line. Just one scream and the entire crowd would lose their minds. But today, that magic feels different. Fans still love them, of course, but the fire that once defined Aerosmith flickers in a way no one can deny. When whispers of retirement started floating around, it didn't sound shocking anymore. Backstage stories about exhausting rehearsals, minimal movement, and constant breathing breaks painted a picture fans didn't want to see, but secretly knew was true. Watching them struggle through some of the high notes felt like watching a lion trying to roar just a little too late. And even die-hard fans began admitting something they never imagined. They might actually be happier seeing Aerosmith rest than watching them push beyond their prime. Fleetwood Mac stands in a world of its own. A band built on heartbreak, chemistry, and chaos, but also on pure musical brilliance. Their songs still hit millions of people right in the soul, but the band itself looks tired in a way that goes deeper than age. With Christine McVie gone, something inside the group shifted forever. Stevie Nicks still commands a stage like a witchy queen, but even she has said she feels the weight of time every single day. The emotional gravity of singing songs tied to decades of heartbreak is heavier now. Watching them perform without Christine feels like reading a novel missing its last chapter. Fans want to celebrate the legacy, not watch the band struggle to recreate a magic that existed only when all the pieces were together. And sometimes, stepping away is the only way to protect that legacy. REO Speedwagon once lit up arenas with the kind of optimistic rock that made people want to roll their windows down and scream along. But in recent years, fans have noticed something different. The songs are still big, but the energy is not. Audiences love them, but even Kevin Cronin has hinted so many times about the physical strain touring puts on it. High note is a battle, every long tour a gamble. The band still plays with heart, but the spark that once made them unstoppable feels gentler, quieter, almost like they're trying to hang on for the fans more than for themselves. And while fans respect that devotion more than anything, they also see the fatigue, the forced smiles, the weight of decades spent trying to keep nostalgia alive. Hall & Oates gave the world some of the most iconic pop rock songs ever. But today, their story is more about tension than harmony. The lawsuits, the public fallout, the awkward interviews, everything feels like the final chapter of a partnership that lasted longer than anyone thought possible. Watching them perform together in recent years felt stiff, distant, like two men trying to protect a legacy they no longer shared. What once looked like effortless chemistry now feels strained, and fans don't want to see it.
You see, it's like
forcing themselves on stage just to keep an old contract alive. Their songs will live forever, but even their most loyal listeners quietly admit the truth. Hall & Oates deserve to step away before their story ends with bitterness instead of respect. NOFX once ruled the punk scene with wild energy, fearless lyrics, and a reckless attitude that only made fans love them more. But punk energy is brutal on the body, and the years have caught up. Fat Mike openly admitted he's tired of the road, tired of the chaos.
If we're talking about
the lifestyle that once defined him. The band's farewell shows were emotional, not because fans were sad, but because they understood. Watching NOFX on stage today feels like watching your older brother try to relive high school. It's fun, but it's not the same. The jumps aren't as high, the screams aren't as sharp, and the stage isn't as wild. Even punk icons eventually face the moment when the body simply can't keep up with the spirit. And NOFX has reached that moment louder than anyone. Off brought a raw, aggressive, underground punch that no other band could copy. But when Keith Morris himself mentions health concerns and the physical strain of performing, fans listen. The band still sounds vicious, but you can see the effort behind every shout, every breath, every guitar attack. Hardcore punk is a style built for youth, built for bodies that can take the hit and come back for more. Watching Off perform shows today feels like watching warriors trying to march on with armor that's become too heavy. No one wants to see their heroes collapse under the weight of their own intensity. And stepping away now might allow the band to keep their legend intact instead of slowly fading in pain and exhaustion. And as the lights dim on these aging icons, fans can feel a quiet ache in the air, a mix of nostalgia, respect, and acceptance. Everyone knows legends can't burn forever. But maybe that's the beauty of it. Leaving the stage while the world still remembers the fire
has
is the
always
greatest
been a
finale
force,
of all.
not just musically, but emotionally, politically, and artistically. But the band's sound is punishing, and performing it live requires a level of ferocity that becomes harder to maintain over decades. Behind the scenes, the toll on the voice, the back, and the mental intensity is massive. Fans who attended their recent shows noticed the cracks, the strain, the moments where the screams didn't land with the same power. It wasn't lack of passion. Otep Shamaya still performs with more heart than many younger artists, but passion can't always fight time. The band built a career on raw, unapologetic power, and fans would rather remember them at full force than see them push themselves past physical limits that no human can outrun. Rage Against the Machine is perhaps the most painful example of a band fans desperately want to see thrive, but reality says otherwise. Zach De La Rocha's injuries, repeated cancellations, and the band's inability to stay consistently active have created a cycle of hype and disappointment. Every reunion feels like the last spark of a flame that refuses to fully reignite. Their political fire is as relevant as ever, but the physical demands of performing RATM's explosive music are brutal. When a single concert requires more energy than some artists give in an entire tour, the cost becomes impossible to ignore. Fans have seen Zach perform seated, struggling, pushing himself through pain that is visible from the audience. And although people would give anything for new music or another full tour, they also know the truth. Sometimes the fight ends, not because the passion fades, but because the body can no longer carry the rebellion. Sum 41 shocked the world by announcing their breakup, but longtime fans saw the signs. Pop-punk demands energy, movement, speed, everything that becomes harder as the years pile up, especially after years of health scares, addictions, injuries, and emotional battles. Derek Whibble nearly died once, and every performance since then has been a reminder of how fragile everything really is. The band still puts on incredible shows, but the exhaustion afterward is written all over their faces. Ending on a high note is better than dragging their legacy through a slow decline. And in a strange way, their retirement announcement became a gift, a promise that fans could remember Sum 41 as the wild, energetic, unstoppable band they always were. Japan Androids built their reputation on chaotic, explosive two-man energy. Every track, every show, every recording was fueled by adrenaline and sweat. But that level of intensity is impossible to sustain forever. The band went quiet for years, and when they finally returned, the spark felt different. Still good, but not the same firestorm they once delivered. Playing in a duo means carrying twice the weight, twice the responsibility, twice the pressure. And performing songs built on youth, motion, and emotional urgency becomes harder the farther you get from the moment they were written. Fans love them deeply, but many admit the band seemed happier and healthier stepping back than pushing forward. And then, circling back to Aerosmith, Fleetwood Mac, and the rest, a clear theme appears. These bands aren't being pushed toward retirement out of criticism, but out of respect. Fans don't want to watch their heroes collapse under the pressure of nostalgia-driven touring. They want to preserve memories, the roaring stadiums, the wild guitar solos, the soaring vocals, not weakened versions of legends trying to keep pace with a world that has already moved on. Retirement isn't an ending here, it's a celebration, a way to freeze their stories in the moments where they shined brightest. What audiences fear most is seeing their icons dim slowly, painfully, publicly. Watching a once explosive band drag their feet across the stage is heartbreaking. Watching a legendary voice crack beyond repair feels like betrayal to the art itself. And watching a group of musicians who once changed the world struggle to keep up with it is something no true fan wants. These 10 bands gave everything: sweat, blood, heartbreak, joy, innovation. They created eras, shaped cultures, and defined entire generations. And maybe the most respectful thing the world can offer them now is permission to rest, permission to end on their own terms, permission to leave the stage not defeated, but triumphant. And when that final chord rings out, when the amps go silent and the lights fade, these legends won't disappear. Their music will echo through every playlist, every stadium memory, every car ride, every heartbreak, every triumph. Retirement won't erase them. It will protect them. Their stories aren't ending. They're being preserved.